What do you do when something is unacceptable? Hello, gals, and welcome to Sober Living Snippets, where we do our best to live alcohol-free so we can have happier relationships, healthier bodies, and joyous hearts. Gals, today I have a snippet for you that was sparked by a comment from one of my clients. A question she asked that got me thinking and then thinking some more, and I realized that is a really interesting question. I'm going to share that because I have a feeling that you might have a very similar question. So a bit of background here. If you've been in Snippet Land any length of time at all, you know that one of the foundational mindset shifts I want you to have is the idea of acceptance. Acceptance. And acceptance means a lot of things. It's, you know what? It's actually pretty much what Mel Robbins is saying in her entire book. Accept people, accept relationships, let them be, right? I talk about letting go. She calls it let things be what they will. This is all acceptance. It's letting the world be what it will be in all areas of our lives. And the reason we do it is because, why? We know why, right? Because we can't control anything except our own thoughts and behaviors. And so whenever we're trying to control something or when we refuse to accept something, let's stay with the word acceptance because that's the word that the client used in her question. When we refuse to accept something, then what? Where does that leave us? So let's have a look at this question. Here it is. She says, I know accepting is part of letting go of control. But how do you do that when decisions were made that are unacceptable? Isn't that interesting? How do you let go of control and accept things when you made a decision that was unacceptable? Anybody? Anybody? Waiting for someone to put their hand up. Gals, here's my answer to that. Who decided it was unacceptable? Decisions were made that were unacceptable. The decisions were made that are unacceptable. That's the way the question was formulated. So we could ask, who decided they were unacceptable? Well, in this case, obviously, the woman who asked the question has decided that this is unacceptable. Okay? So to someone else, they might decide, no, that's got to be accepted. But the way the question is worded is why I'm doing the snippet on this. The question is worded, basically to me, the way I interpret this question, what's really being asked here is, what if I decide that it's unacceptable? Becca, you're telling me that I have to accept things that I can't control. I have to let go of control. You're telling me I have to do this to heal, to grow, to get true, happy sobriety. And I do. That is what's in my program. That is what I ask the women to aim towards. I don't expect it to happen in a heartbeat the minute that you come on board. Acceptance, as a matter of fact, let's get this clear, gals. Learning to accept and let people be and let go is just a lifetime practice. It's not a thing we do there, that's done. Oh, good. Thank God that's over. Now I can move on with my life now that I've done. No, it's a practice. A practice that we will be practicing until the end of time. If we're smart, we will, because it makes us much more happier, much more peaceful when we're doing this. But it is a practice. Things will come up every freaking day because life will be like, things are going to come up over and over that are like, oh, I can't believe this. This is unacceptable. This thought will cross our minds. And then we have a choice. When that thought crosses our minds, then we are faced with the choice. Do I stick with my decision that it's unacceptable, or do I choose to accept it? I mean, the real answer to this question is you're deciding, my dear, that it's unacceptable. So my question back to you is, can you change your mind? Can you change your mind and decide to accept it? Because only you decided it was unacceptable. Nobody else came along and said to you, holy wow, that's what happened? That's unacceptable. You're making the decision. And I know I'm not just talking to this one person. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making it into a snippet. So it comes back to us. It comes back to us, and we have to say to ourselves, okay, how can I decide to accept this when it feels unacceptable? And I know for a fact, even though I didn't ask her, I know for a fact that this woman is talking about something she did in the past, right? In fact, I would argue that most of us are willing to accept and let go of most things other people do because most women are kind, loving, generous women. The women that I meet you're all amazing, kind women. You're not going to hold grudges. Some things are harder to forgive than others. And I've said this before, the women that I meet want to forgive, want to accept, want to let go, don't want to control. And so when somebody does something that's just bizarre, they're still willing to go, okay, I'm going to find a way to accept that. But this is not what she's talking about. She's talking about something she did that she finds unacceptable. In other words, she's talking about self-forgiveness, isn't she? That's what this really boils down to, self-forgiveness. And so I would put the question back. You've decided that this is unacceptable to you. Your own past behavior is unacceptable to you. In fact, she says, not even understandable. So she's done something she not only can't accept, but she doesn't even understand it. She's like, well, I can't even understand why I did that. What she's faced with here, and we've all got this, that's why I'm talking to everybody. She's come face to face with the cold, hard facts of self-forgiveness in the face of the unfathomable. It's unfathomable to her that she doesn't understand why she did it. She just can't accept that she did it. And yet there it is, right there, staring her in the face. Because she wants to grow fully, not just half-assed. She wants to do the whole enchilada. And so she's like, how do I do this? I don't understand it and I don't accept it. I'm stuck. I'm pushed into a corner. And my answer is, no, you're not. It's a choice. And here's how. I'm even going to tell you how. You've heard me say it before. I'm going to tell you how, because I know this is hitting home with others out there. Here's how you understand it, and here's how you accept it. You look at that woman in the third person. She is not you. And no, this is not just a fancy way of letting yourself off the hook. She's not. You are literally not the same person you were. You don't have to understand it. She behaved under circumstances that from your current perspective, you can't understand. Fair enough. What I'm asking you to do is shrug your shoulders and go, okay, I just don't get it, why she did that, but I'm willing to accept that she did and give her love and compassion from the point of view of the person I am today. This woman here in 2025 who's looking back and finding this unacceptable, I am willing to throw down my heart and give her compassion and accept that she did it. Even though I don't understand it, I'm going to give her loving compassion just like I would a sister or a daughter or a best friend. And I know that this woman and all of you out there would do that. If a best friend came to you and said, you won't believe what I did, and she told you something that you could not understand, and inside you're going, that, wow, that's bizarre, that's holy cow, you would find a way to accept it and forgive her and give her love and compassion. So I'm saying to you, can you do that for yourself? And just to take this all the way, gals, I would like to remind you who's talking here. When I tell you that I was a prostitute from the age of 18 to 32, I'm not saying that lightly. And when you put into your imagination some of the things that I did in those 13 years, do you think I understand it? In fact, can you imagine how unacceptable it felt? That's why I drank for another 25 years after that. I could not fathom my own behavior in those years. I took money for sex. I sold my body to anybody who would pay me. I stood on streets. I had sex with more than one person at a time. Pretty much if you gave me enough money, I would do anything. How is that acceptable? How can I even understand that as this woman speaking to you? Those types of details I've never actually shared before. I didn't put them in my book because I figure you don't need the details. When I tell you that I was a prostitute, I need you to understand that I was a real prostitute. That's what I was. And yet I am here talking to you today in full self-forgiveness, full self-understanding, and full self-acceptance. There's no competition here, gals, but whatever it is that you're finding unacceptable, I dare you to refuse to forgive that past person. I am not the Becca who did those things. She, and I've told you before, I always speak about her in the third person. She's gone. I don't understand her. I can't understand her, but I have given her acceptance and love, even though I can't understand her. And that was part of this question. Let's go back to the beginning. She says, I know accepting is part of letting go of control, but how do you do that when decisions were made that are unacceptable and not even understandable? Here's the final response for you. You don't have to understand it. Forget it. We're not going to understand our past selves because we're not them. We can't understand them because they're long gone. I cannot understand an 18 to 32-year-old Becca. In fact, for that matter, I can't understand the 30 to 40 Becca or the 40 to 50 Becca, the amount she drank. Like, this is bizarre, and other things. Like, there's so much of my past I do not understand. I don't have to understand it. I just accept, there's that word, that it's there, it existed, she did it, and I love and forgive her. And one thing I know for damn sure about her, she needs my compassion. And the reason she needs my compassion is because I need to live in peace. And I absolutely refuse to withhold my forgiveness from her because I want to live in peace today. And one final piece I want to add to this that I didn't share. This woman also said this. I want to touch on it. It's very important. This is so beautiful and so touching, and I'm so, so grateful that she shared this. She says, I don't know how to accept something I can't get my brain around and memories that will never go away. I keep reviewing and reviewing, but can't come to a point I'm willing to accept. That is so beautiful, so honest, so raw, and took so much courage. This question was not asked to me personally. It was posted in our client group. 19 other women saw this post. I want you to know that this took a massive amount of courage. And not only that, but what it shows us is a willingness to grow. This woman is determined to grow despite a past that she cannot understand. This is what I call the height of courage right here. Of course, she got nothing but love back. This was posted approximately a week ago, I think, and it was never really answered, and it's been going around and around in my mind, and I realized I have to do a snippet on this because I know she's not alone. And boy, can I relate. I can relate. So the answer is self-forgiveness. Think of her in the third person. Forget about understanding her. It's not part of the journey. It doesn't matter if you understand her. It's not important. And I want you to know this. Memories, no, they never go away, but they will stop haunting. They really will. And the way to get them to stop haunting, and they do fade. I very, very seldom think of that Becca anymore. I don't have to. She's just this unfathomable person from the past. I don't think about her. She's just, unless I'm talking about her for you, really. Other than that, I just never think about her. So the memories don't go away, but they just stop. You just stop thinking about them over time. So yes, you need to give yourself time. But listen, I want to suggest that you stop reviewing and let this settle for a while. Don't push so hard on it. When you're ready, sit down and journal about her in the third person, which you've probably already done, but for all of the listeners, write out her story in the third person and write back to her in the third person. Write back to her as an older mother figure and tell her that I don't understand you, but I know that you must have had some reason for doing what you did. And as I'm older, I'm wiser, and I'm over here growing, and I am willing to accept that you did what you did, even though I can't understand it. Give her some loving compassion, some forgiveness, and move on. Now, all of that will take time, but that's the practice. That's okay. And when you're exhausted by it, put it down. Don't dwell on it. Work on it, but set it down. Give yourself the break that you need from this. Gals, once again, I want to thank the woman who had the courage to put that in the group chat. I'm sure she didn't expect me to share it with the world, but I know that this has been helpful to many of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. And if this type of support is something that you feel you need in your life, then today is a really good day for you to go to the show notes, book your private, confidential one-on-one call with me, and let's see if the Perspectives path is the one for you. Because if you've got these types of issues in your past haunting you and you want real and true freedom and you want to learn how to be vulnerable in a safe space, then let's talk and start your safe and happy and healthy alcohol-free journey. Thanks for coming, gals. I love you all madly. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.